Hello, I'm Joseph Barker, and welcome to the Finding Ability podcast, a place where people are able, adaptable, brave, loving, and exceptional. This is a place where we get into deep conversations about how we can make our lives better and how we can make the world a better place. Hello, this is Joseph, and thank you for listening to Finding Ability. Today is a beautiful April day in southwestern Ontario, and we're currently in a third lockdown. And so today's podcast is going to be just different ways that you can help to take care of yourself, some gentle reminders of what it means to be happy and healthy, and how you can tackle that in a lockdown scenario where we're not really allowed to do a lot of things. So, what are some things that you can do to find more happiness and a more healthy life during this lockdown? Well, one of the first things that I feel like is important during these times is the ability to connect with nature. Now, we are, as a species, locked in our homes a lot of the time and not connecting with the elements of nature, not connecting with the cycle of the seasons, except for maybe, in the brief times in which we're not in our car or moving from building to building. And so one of those most foundational aspects of finding health and finding happiness, I really feel like comes from the ability to connect deeply with nature. And so how you can do that? Well, easy, go outside. It's not very challenging, but it might help to have some intentions about going outside. And that's something that you can work on yourself. So whether or not you want to connect with nature in a way to maybe get a bit more fit or healthy, going out with the intention of having a little bit of a workout is a beautiful thing. If you feel overwhelmed and stressed and emotionally hindered, going out with the intention into nature to allow those feelings to pass by, to allow nature to maybe absorb that bad woo and feel more whole and content again. And luckily, because it is April and not the frigid wastes of wintertime, this is one of the most amazing times of the year to be outside, to connect with nature. Every single day, things are changing. Every single day, things are growing and becoming more vibrant. Everything's coming back to life. And so in my own experience over this last week, I've seen a whole bunch of buds on trees, bushes, ground cover start to open up and unfurl and explode into this new season. And so this connection with nature and something that's outside of the mental scape of what it means to be a human being can be grounding, centering, and also healing. So that's the first little tip of the day. Luckily, nature's also free. You don't have to pay for it unless you're going to like a provincial park or something, in which case, yeah, there's some money, but there's a lot of nature around. You don't have to go very far usually. Perfect. And so the next is connecting with others. And so in this time of COVID and lockdown, we're restricted to see people even less than before. And so what are ways that you can connect with others? Well, we have a lot of social media. Everyone seems to have a phone, some kind of iPod or iPad or laptop or whatever it may be. No, those are great tools for connecting with people, and not the most ideal in some circumstances, because it's actually really great to connect with people in real life, to have physical touch, to be able to look at someone in the eyes. And so a few things that you can do to connect with others. Very literally just reach out to your friends, your family, those who care about you or you care about, or maybe you care about each other equally. Because that social contact is important. And for a lot of us, we may have been used to a lot more social contact previous to this lockdown. And so that's something to help ease a lot of the stress or the anxiety, is to be seen and to be heard by somebody else. And if you're lucky enough to have people around you, practicing eye gazing is one of the most beneficial things that you can do. And it's kind of weird and it's kind of uncomfortable and maybe feels like you're in some kind of weird team building workshop, but prolonged eye gazing has a lot of scientific benefits that have been proven, of creating more empathy, connection, and there's a lot of communication that happens in just us looking at each other in the eyes. And I know that eye gazing can be challenging, especially with the amount of screens that we are in contact with on a regular basis. The screens don't demand anything from us, and they can't see us or see into us, whereas human beings can. So if you're feeling sad or angry or uncomfortable, it can be even more uncomfortable to then look at somebody. But I assure you, those feelings pass. And then you can connect even deeper with whoever it is that you're looking at. Another thing to do would be to connect with your body, connect with your breath. To move and to breathe is to be alive. To spend time with your body sunken in a depressed posture, watching screens all day, is not going to be facilitating a large amount of expansion and growth within your body. And when your body is feeling depressed and sad and tired and lethargic, your mood will also be those things. And then your mind will also be those things. And so, just as a gentle reminder, it's important to move your body. It doesn't have to be a deadlift. It doesn't have to be belly dancing or yoga. It can just be whatever it is that you like. And maybe you like yoga. Maybe you like belly dancing. Maybe you love hiking, swimming. Whatever it is, don't forget that you need to move your body every day if you want it to be happy and if you want yourself to also be happy and healthy. And another thing too is this connection with your body is also this connection with your breath. And a lot of people will think, well, I breathe every day. I don't need to practice that or work on that. But the reality is that you can change how you feel, change your nervous system, change your biochemistry with breathing practices and breathing techniques. And this isn't some kind of like hippy, dippy energy thing or chi or whatever. This is scientifically proven. If you elongate your exhales longer than your inhales, you're relaxing your body. If you're making your inhales more intentional, you're engaging your sympathetic or your kind of excited system. And if you're just breathing with intention deeply as you're walking, you're oxygenating your body. And so this is something that I want to remind you as well, because so much of the time when we're working, doing our errands or chores, or watching TV, or scrolling through social media, or whatever it is, there's no connection to breath or intention. You're just kind of existing. And so every so often, can you stop doing what you're doing, or continue to do what you're doing, and also just take 5 or 6 breaths in and out. And for a lot of people, you may have had someone tell you at some point in your life, when you're stressed, hey, just breathe, or like take a couple breaths. And maybe that didn't really work or relieve your stress at that time. That is normal. These are practices. It takes time to get good at squats. You probably want to do squats like, once or 3 times a week for a few months, and then you'll get better at it. Same thing is true with breath practice. It takes a while before you're really hooked up into this ability to go and allow your body to relax even deeper and more fully. And so there's various breath practices that you can try. They're all online if you want to Google anything. I do have some of that also on this podcast. But it's one way to really invigorate or relax yourself. And during this lockdown time, the more self-care, the more better from my perspective. Okay, so the next is going to be finding silence or quiet space. And so every day, our bodies need the quiet. They need silence. Some people meditate. Some people maybe get up a little bit early and spend time in the beautiful silence that is the morning. Or maybe you're a night owl and you really appreciate that quiet when everyone else is asleep. Connecting with that silence and that quiet, I think, is really important for a number of reasons. One being, it's allowing your body to come into a deeper state of relaxation. It's so easy these days to become so addicted to more stimulus, like more coffee, more cigarettes, more social media, more intense, dramatic murder shows on TV, more ice cream, more chips. And all those things are awesome, but can you also have a moment in your day or a moment in your week where you can absorb that silence, or you can just be in a place that is quiet, where even your mind can start to slow down, where your mind can start to unravel its weird spirals or thought patterns. And this is something that you can even do in nature. Nature is really good at holding space for us if we need quiet and we need away from all of the buzzing and the humming of humanity. Awesome. And then the last little thing for today is monitor your screen time. And some people, and myself included, really enjoy screens. They can pretty much give us whatever we want at any moment in time, whether it's connecting with friends, whether it's looking at pretty images, watching informative videos, or your favorite TV show or movie. Screens have an ability to give us so much joy, beauty, connection. But it doesn't take very long for the negative effects of being on a screen to arise within our body. Once we hit about 20 to 30 minutes, a lot of the negative aspects of screens start to arise within our body, within our minds, which means a little bit more capacity for depression or anxiety. You're not connected to your body in an embodied way. You're just staring at something, and it's outside of you. It isn't you yourself. And so limiting that will help you be more in your own body, in your own mind, in your own space, as opposed to continuously being stuck in some external or some externality. And I'm not saying that screens are evil and horrible. They're beautiful. They're amazing. They give us so much. but you don't want to eat all of the time. You would end up getting obese and fat and depressed and feel horrible and be constipated. Our bodies need time to digest things. And when it comes into screens and we're ingesting those with our eyes and our emotions and our minds, if you just watch screens all day, you're going to end up feeling super weird. And it's because we need time to process things. And screens are a lot to process. There's a lot of information there, visual information, intellectual or emotional information. It's a lot to process. And so being a bit more mindful with your screen time, being able to connect with some silence with your body, with your breath and nature, and you should have enough tools in your toolkit to be a lot happier and a lot healthier during this third lockdown. Thank you so much for listening and for spending time with me and for hopefully taking some action towards having a happier and a healthier life. This is Joseph Barker. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.